The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on GuardianRadio.com, GuardianTalkRadio.com, streaming live and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now on this Wednesday, filling in for Chester Robards, who's going to be with us tomorrow. We've got Laverne Gardner on Wednesday. Good morning, Laverne.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Great to have you with us. All right, so coming up today, we're going to get into some controversy. Transgender athletes in sports. I think we know how most people feel about this. We're going to get into it, though, especially in light of what U.S. President Donald Trump is doing. But why this is relatively simple, right? To understand why this shouldn't be something that should have even gotten as far as it did. Or we're missing something. We're going to get into that this morning with some sporting experts here in the country. That's all ahead. But let's begin with what else is in the news. And in the news, the big headline in the NASA Guardian today, audit uncovers passport fraud. Multiple agencies involved in audit. We're going to get to that in just a bit. Just two stories, though, before we get to that. I just want to touch on two stories that are going to rile me up and maybe get some of you a bit angry as well. So this story by our Artesia Davis. Two accused rapists granted bail. A judge on Tuesday set bail at $9,900 each for two accused rapists. Bus driver Ricardo Lightbourne is accused of raping a 31-year-old woman on April 15, 2024. Lightbourne was ordered to wear an ankle bracelet and not to come within 500 feet of his accuser. He's also required to keep a curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., and he has to sign in at the Southern Police Station. Denavio Sweeting is accused of the December 6, 2024 rape of a 19-year-old woman. He was ordered not to have any contact with the virtual complainant and has to report to the Carmichael Road Police Station on twice a week. So that's a one. But this one really, really getting me angry, Laverne. Gunshots fired during fight between jitney drivers.
Say what?
Yeah. An early morning altercation between two jitney drivers led to a gun being fired. Police say no one was injured. Police say the incident happened on Yamacraw Hill Road around 8:30 a.m. yesterday. During the altercation, police said a firearm was discharged. Minister of Energy and Transport Jo Beth Colby Davis condemned the incident, saying, quote, "Fortunately, no passenger or bus driver was harmed during this unfortunate incident. However, it is certainly not the atmosphere that we would want to see the public subjected to during their daily commute. No public bus operator or passenger should fear for their safety. We condemn this incident in the strongest terms." The Ministry of Energy and Transport in a statement said that it will take the necessary action pending an investigation, saying it is the firm position of the government of the Bahamas that public bus transportation must be safe and accessible to all Bahamians. Members of the public are advised that the Road Traffic Department has a vetting process in place for all public bus franchise holders and public service drivers. Further, the department has implemented a code of conduct for all public service drivers. The code clearly outlines standards and disciplinary measures which include the permanent revocation of a public service license. As the shooting incident represents a serious threat to public safety, the Ministry of Energy and Transport and the Road Traffic Department will take the necessary action once the investigation is completed. All right, so I'm missing something here. They're going to investigate and take action when we're the police. This is a police matter.
I was saying maybe this person had a licensed firearm.
No, it
because
doesn't matter.
I didn't hear anything about being arrested. I don't know how it works.
Doesn't matter at all. What are you doing?
I don't know how it works, but clearly, well, based on this story, no one was arrested.
This doesn't make any sense. There's no need for any long investigation. You know who this is. I'm sure there were witnesses. This is crazy. Deal with this. First of all, don't even spell bus again, right? Don't even be a passenger on a bus again.
Bus driver.
And what are we doing? What type of investigation? This is crazy. This is crazy. What am I missing? Or is it what I'm thinking, that we just love crime and love criminals? Something is wrong. Make it make sense, folks. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. So the police statement, what they said, very short statement, not much here. They said, police investigating a shooting incident allegedly involving public service drivers that occurred on Tuesday, the 11th of February, 2025, on Yamacraw Hill Road. Preliminary reports indicate that after 8:30 a.m., an altercation broke out between the drivers of two public buses, during which a firearm was discharged. Fortunately, no passengers were injured. As investigations continue, police are working together with the Ministry of Energy and Transport to bring closure to this matter.
Okay.
So if I'm at your work, you and I get into an altercation and I shoot at you or something, what's your workplace got to do with this? Is that a thing? We're gonna investigate together with the police.
Mm-hmm.
This is a police matter.
We're a team.
Yeah? Okay. I don't understand what's going on. Let's see what the callers have to say. Again, you can call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, 242-300-5720. Someone should have been arrested yesterday and charged today. But I'm clearly in a fantasy world. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight again, and good morning, Laverne.
Hi.
Morning.
Dwight, yesterday. Now, you see, Dwight, the last statement what you said, right? I agree with that, right? You know, when you said we love criminals and crime.
Mm.
Yes, sir. Because it just was yesterday we were having this crime situation, right? I don't know if you've ever been on a bus, right, or ride a jitney, right? If you see how some of those guys just be on the sidewalk trying to get in the front of a bus with the front of them with passengers and don't care the people them making noise or screaming, they don't stop.
Mm.
They just gotta get in the front. Dwight, this country, see, you know, there's no fear of the law in this country because some lawyer, right, can get you off. Don't care what you do. Remember, hey, Dwight, we had a case where the prosecution and the defense was trying to make sure the gentleman or the scum whatever gets the lowest sentence in this country. We love criminals, Dwight. Then you can hear you put in rapists. We have a problem with rapists in this country, and you giving rapists bail?
Well, again, you know, innocent until proven guilty. Yes, right, and so there's a lot to prove.
I know that's our law, Dwight, but we have to look into our law because our law is antiquated, Dwight. It ain't helping the country, and it ain't putting no fear in the perpetrators, Dwight.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. Because when people could feel that they could go and do anything, right, and all they have to call their boy or their lawyer and man, right, this country is gone because, well, again, I can say this, we have lawyers running our country, and all of them have criminal law firms, and they ain't trying to shut them down. You see, because if they was serious in making an impact, today in the House of Assembly, they would have come with a long line of laws. Would they plan to change just to put some fear in people? What is not fearful for this law? What they have existed in this country, man.
Wow. Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's hear what this caller has to say. Good morning. You are on the air. Hi. Good morning. Are you there?
Yes, good morning to both of you.
Hi.
Your previous call has hit
Good
the nail
morning.
on the head. Dwight, some time ago I was privileged to serve as a bus driver, and it was a rat race. It's who can get the crowd, because during that time, Dwight, we used to pull up downtown and we used to change our sign. If I was running South Beach and I see people going Cable Beach, I put my Cable Beach sign. So it's really no law governing this system. And Miss Colby, I think her name is, she knows the problem and the chaos and the tension that these bus drivers have to face, wherein you have to make $1,000 if you're driving with somebody. You have to make $1,000 for him, and what you could make after that is yours. Mm-hmm. Well, these bus drivers are sometimes not taking any money home. They have to work Saturdays and Sundays just to buy bread. So it's really frustrating being a bus driver. Mm. So they know, and when I used to drive, politicians own the bus plates. So maybe they still do own the bus plates. So they're not going to organize this to take money out of their pocket. And this is where the Bahamians are suffering, because we have too many people have their hands in cookie jars. Mm. And that's the problem. She knows she could take the chaos out of this by having men come to a particular place, pick up their bus, and orderly move 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 1 minute ahead of the other, and whoever you pick up, and then you get a fixed salary. Yeah. But they don't want to change that because, as your previous caller said, we seem to be a country of criminals. From the top, will exclude me. I don't know where you are, Dwight.
Definitely not on this list.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Definitely could be changed. Many administrations have talked about it. Every time we're near elections, they talk about unifying the bus system. How tiring is this? And every year we are in the same place we've always been. But that is another story. This is crazy, clear violation of laws, and I don't understand why there's been no movement already. This is crazy to me. Crazy. But hey. Wow. Anyway, continue to call in about that or text us 422-4796. Just wild stuff. Can you imagine if somebody got hurt? They're still going to have to do their investigations and all that stuff, or is it only then would they act? Man, oh man. Speaking of nonsense, audit uncovers passport fraud. We've had people calling in over the past few weeks, every week, about folks fraudulently possessing passports. This is nothing new, but here we go. Our Travis Carroll writing about it. An internal audit at the Passport Office, the Department of Immigration, and the National Insurance Board led to the discovery of several cases of fraud, according to the Chief Passport Officer, Nicholas Simonet. Simonet yesterday responding to concerns that foreigners were able to obtain Bahamian passports by using fraudulent documents. Simonet saying, quote, around the world, identity fraud and document fraud are on the rise. It's nothing new. It's nothing new to the Passport Office. The Passport Office every year has been maintaining a large group of files that are suspected of being fraudulent. The only difference now is that we are taking action on these cases. Oh, boy. So they weren't doing that before? Oh, my goodness. He said all of these cases were found out based on an audit that started at the passport office, not someone tipping us off, but us doing an internal audit with Immigration and NIB. This is how we've been finding out about these cases. We're taking proper action on them. Simnet said the matter is not alarming. He said Bahamians should be proud that we are weeding out all fraudulent activity. In regards to our protocols are stronger now more than ever. As you may recall, we told you about this yesterday. 3 foreigners were accused of getting Bahamian passports by using fake documents. 2 men from the Dominican Republic and a Cuban man who were work permit holders allegedly obtained passports last year by submitting forged documents. They denied the allegations and were granted bail. Meanwhile, F&M Senator Darren Henfield, who previously served as Minister of Foreign Affairs, called the matter disturbing yesterday, saying, quote, as the matter is before the courts and therefore sub judice, we reserve commentary that might harm the case. However, we hope an audit is underway at the passport office and elsewhere to determine whether others might have slipped through by the same means. Well, and in response to his comments, the PLP issued a statement saying the F&M and Senator Darren Henfield are once again late to the table and crying wolf after the horse has bolted the barn. The reason the passport cases are before the courts is because of additional measures taken to protect the security of Bahamian passports since he lost office. Senator Henfield should know that there will always be fraudulent attempts, but the question is, what did he do to stop it when he was there? The record shows that he did nothing. It was left to the present PLP administration to put in place corrections to the defaults of his time in office. The PLP's efforts are working, and allegations are being prosecuted before the courts, so the senator can save his crocodile tears. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, anyway, let's get your reaction to this, folks. They're taking action. It's nothing new, but they're taking action now. How do you feel about it? 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. I was alarmed last week at the number of people calling in. And I'm like, how do you know this? Because people don't normally see other people's passports unless you're traveling with them, right? Right. But people could tell you how this person speaks no English and has a passport. Like, how did you see it? How did you see it?
There's a ring, and we all knew, right? We didn't have proof, but we all knew that something was going on.
I mean, you've seen people that you wondered about who had passports?
Pardon?
You've seen people who you've questioned who are holding passports? You've seen this? Or this is what people like to say?
This is what people have been saying. Me personally, I've never encountered that, right? But people have been saying it, and now you know that it wasn't just people saying it. It is true. And I think, and you know, you suspect it because you wonder sometimes when you do encounter a person maybe who does not speak English, who like, how did you get here? How is this possible? You know, it has caused you to question, make those kind, question that. So let's see what happens, right?
Yeah.
I want to hear about terminations and people going before the courts.
Wow. Let's see what these callers are saying. Yeah. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning to your guests.
Good morning.
Dwight, that statement by the PLP, that's a bunch of garbage, okay? Because, okay, for him to, clearly that was written by Fred Mitchell. For him to even say that there's always going to be a temp, that must mean that there's somebody in the passport office who is doing this, someone senior, because there's no way these fraudulent passports could be passing out and not a senior person know about it. This is ridiculous, okay? At this point, what they should be doing at the passport is everybody in charge should be fired. This is a bunch of nonsense. This is treason. They are selling out our country. So for the minister to talk about the F&M is late to the party, that is ridiculous. To hear that there's always going to be a temp. There should not be a temp. This is nonsense. Come on, man. We got to stop this stupidness in this country.
Wow, everybody. Okay. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
But think about it, Dwight. Sorry, think about it. There will always be attempts. So what kind of people are we hiring that there will always be attempts? What does that say about our character?
But also,
there will always be attempts.
I can appreciate that. But this line, the only difference now is that we're taking action on these cases. That's the part that's freaking me out. Because maybe there will always be attempts. People will always try to bribe somebody or always try to sneak in or do something. But now we're taking action. Like,
so before we weren't taking action.
It's like, oh, boy.
It was just like, cool.
You up to this again? You need to stop. And then you just move on. Okay.
No.
Man. Let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Laverne.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Dwight, Laverne, these individuals who come in here, these foreigners, they come in here, they don't know nobody like that, right? So they had to know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. These things don't happen in isolation. So when these people who are complicit with facilitating these incidents are charged or hauled before the courts, then things will change. Until then, it can be the same old. Because these things just don't happen in isolation. Okay? These foreigners, they don't come in here and just go and go to immigration. There's a ring. There's corruption in high places, and we need to weed out this thing. And like the previous court, this is treason. They are selling out our country, and these people need to be prosecuted and persecuted to the highest extent of the law to stop this madness that is going on in our country, man. And Dwight, just before I go, I want to say something. This ain't really what we're talking about. But please ask Sherwin-Williams to change that.
Okay, all right. Trying to get us in trouble today. Prosecuted.
Caller, I get
No,
you.
we don't have to go there. But oh boy, prosecution. I don't think persecution. No, we don't need to be persecuting. But prosecution, sure. Yes, absolutely. Good morning, caller. You are on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, my good friend Laverne.
Good morning.
I'm just going to try and make this a very quick conversation here. First and foremost, this case brings back to mind the case of Keturah Ferguson. And her case. It tells us for a very long time we suspected that there was a ring selling Bahamian passports or giving the Bahamian passports. We might as well say that because we watch many persons in the news as well as on the ground. They can't speak a lick of English, okay? And I thought you had to swear to get a Bahamian before you got a Bahamian passport. They can't speak English, and yet they have Bahamian official documents in their hands. No one is held to account. I said on Chicago's Line show yesterday that, we keep going after the small man, but these permanent secretary, and I'm going to be very deliberate in this, hearing all of these accusations about passports being given out and stuff, we hear no penalties being done upon the minister themselves. We had nothing about the permanent secretaries. Why aren't they investigating how these people are getting these passports and shutting this racket down? We hear absolutely nothing. I can tell you, a Bahamian passport is one of the most sacred documents you could ever have in this life of being a Bahamian. I get absolutely nothing, and the Bahamian people aren't inflamed. We aren't outraged. It's a bunch of nonsense. The Whistleblower Act has to happen because, trust me, this thing has to go all the way to the top. We've seen people who claim to come into the country and got passports through somebody else because they were affiliated with these parties. And secondly, before I go, these people in these parties should not be pointing fingers because it seems as if if persons in one party representing the government is doing it, and the other party is elected in power, and they didn't do anything about it, but it continues, it means that both parties are equally guilty. We have to fix the problems in this country. When it comes down to the passports, we're talking about sovereignty, we're talking about identity, we're talking about all these things, and it's like mum's the word. I'm very passionate about this one because I feel my identity as a Bahamian is really at jeopardy and at risk when it comes down to the global stage. Because when these people do nonsense in this country and they say it's Bahamians, it means that I am a Bahamian, and it also means that I am also one of those guilty. Let's fix this problem. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you very much. Oh boy. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air. Are you there? Let's take the other call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning to you, Dwight. Good morning to you, Laverne.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Will be 13 years since on your station, before, on the other stations existed before you, but you brought the whole thing. April 12th make 13 years that the solution for this has been profit. Dwight, what happens is it's amazing as if though the MPs act as if though they give out passports, right? Ain't these the same civil servants in the same position for 5, 10, 15, 20 years? Right? So then if the problem exists, it exists and it's endemic. Now, here's the problem, Dwight. See, let me tell you why we don't want to address this. Because it has catastrophic impact on our population. You heard me talk about two things: a digital ID system. You hear me talk about our digital imperative: digitization, digitalization, datamation, datification, and digital transformation. Because we are such a small population and a small data set, here's what happens, Dwight. When you begin digitization and digitalization and move to datamation, and guess what? The datification begin to extract and go all the way back in time to begin to show you the effects. You will begin to find out that you may have individuals walking around this country claiming to be Bahamian citizens who are not citizens by virtue of breaking the law. There's no gray area in the law, right? So what happens then, Dwight, is imagine this. You fraudulently or mistakenly was given a Bahamian passport 40 years ago. You have children who became citizens because of a derivative, and they have children, and their children may even have children. So when you retroact find out that Alan Johnson was not entitled to the passport, it derivatively strips all of those individuals of passport, whether they get them through marriage, association, children, whatever. And so the problem is that we have to do this now because there's methods to deal with the corruption that has happened. And Dwight, you asked, and Laverne, you asked, that I know, see, when I last saw this. Yesterday, standing in a store, a person was asked for an ID. They presented an ID, and they had to have a translator answer why they need the ID or what they want. So if you had to swear in that person holding that passport, it was brand spanking new, was incapable of doing a swearing in of an allegiance. I assume, I didn't say it was legal. I just questioned saying, how did they
You
swear
saw this
in?
with your own two eyes. The person presented a Bahamian passport.
Yeah. Okay? And so I spoke to the person saying, hey, I'm in the real estate business. Are you interested in maybe purchasing a home or something? They looked at me like a deer in the headlights until the next person came and translated to them. And they said, no. Okay? So I just wanted, that was for me. That was my test. And so the problem we have, though, is that we have, in the world, right, there's no such thing as problems, There's something called unsupplied solutions, right? And so that's something my mom taught me. Every problem in the world is nothing more than an unsupplied solution because somebody has experienced this before, but you'll never do this again. And this is what AI does now. All AI does now is gives us access to the knowledge base of a greatest population. So nothing that we need to do in this country have not been done somewhere before.
Okay.
If we adopt a digital ID system, Dwight, it fixes our immigration problem, it fixes our corruption problem, it fixes everything. And why in the 21st century, when we talk about these things every single day, digitalization, this technology, data economy, this economy, all these different things,
but a simple aspect of digitizing our government, a small company in the prospect of things in the U.S., we can't get it done.
Yeah, crazy. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. One final call, and then we're going to get to your messages and then take a break. Good morning, caller. You are on. No, okay. These text messages here. As workers of the airport, we see it, and they're probably the ones telling you they saw them. And when we question, they went to school at R.M. Bailey and in the island of Eleuthera and such. That's what they say. Oh, really? Also unable to identify high-profile government officials like a prime minister. So, yeah, we see them. Wow. Okay. All right.
Dwight, I'm going to say this again. Yes, we get the announcement that there is a ring based on their investigation with these documents being issued. I'm waiting to hear about terminations and people going before the courts.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm waiting to. I don't want to get this announcement and then
2
there's
years
nothing.
from now, nothing. Yeah.
There's still nothing. Or the people who are suspected, what you do is transfer them to another department.
Yeah.
I want to know that people are going before the courts.
Both of the stories we've
and
talked
that
about
they
today.
have been terminated.
By the end of the week, we need to hear this, right? Before the end of the week. With the bus drivers, with this passport fraud, that needs to happen today, tomorrow at the latest. This is crazy. This is crazy. This text here, my reaction, the high-ranking politician referred to in the cocaine smuggling U.S. indictment is still in office, and there has been no local attempt to ferret them out. None. If that individual is willing to facilitate dangerous drugs trafficking through the use of the police force, police officers, government planes, and government vehicles in return for multi-million-dollar bribes, we have no clue what other illegal activity they are profiting off while in office, what government employees and what level of seniority they're putting in positions of power and authorizing to carry out other illegal tasks for profit. These people caught with fraudulent documents should have access to zero privileges in the country and should be reported, I think they're trying to say deported. Yeah, deported, never to return. Anybody they vouched for should also be rejected from any identity privileges. Yeah, remember their work permits, because they had work permits, they were granted bail. That doesn't make any sense. That should be revoked.
No.
Should have been revoked immediately.
Because it doesn't, how is it that you have rights if you already break the law? Meaning, if you entered this country illegally and you say you have a work permit.
Well, no. Apparently, they had legal work permits, so they didn't enter illegally. But they have, or accused of having, fake or illegitimately obtained Bahamian passports. So that's crazy.
Then everything is null and void.
You would think,
Dwight.
right? You would think
everything would be null and void, and you should be immediately deported. Yeah. But not only that, whomever, because you didn't just walk into a store, you didn't just find this passport on the side of the road. So some Bahamian had to assist you in getting this.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, are they back at work?
Is that person arrested?
Are they back at work? Is that how this works? So while your matter is before the court, go back to work. Yeah. But so don't be claiming to be a Bahamian. You're not a Bahamian. But do your work. Do your work and shut up.
Dwight, you see why the first caller said we love crime?
Well, that's what I said. And so he's agreeing with me. Clearly we do. This text says, we are finally realizing that some of these people in high places with traditional Bahamian surnames are really the proverbial rat watching the cheese. Okay. Our law enforcement agencies must be the most non-creative bunch. This is a small place. There's always talk on the streets about these matters. Why not run a sting operation? When it comes to solutions, we always appear seemingly paralyzed. I don't even think they need to go that far. I think they know exactly who it is. It's as people are calling in. People know who it is. We have to be honest and do it. And that's the problem. We talk a good game, but the action part, that is the problem. That's where we always fall down. We talk a good game. It's like, and of course I'm digressing. It's like, when the case came up with this, I don't even want to call him a father, what happened earlier, molesting this 3-year-old your child, and you have all this outrage, and
I think maybe your news carried it as well. The prime minister expresses his outrage. Really? Who makes the laws?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Y'all in the house all the time throwing chairs at each other, personal attacks. Oh, you didn't do it. Oh, you didn't do it. Oh, well, you need to, bombing on the table. Take your outrage and let's change the law because you have the power to do it. So I'm not impressed when the people who have the power to change the law are outraged, but they don't go and change the law.
Yeah. It's early yet, but here's the first stupid text of the day. Why don't you all ask the PM about this issue with passports since you guys like to ask him questions about sentencing? It's like, what type of idiot text is this?
That doesn't even make sense.
I don't know what. That? I just want you all to see what we have to deal with. Oh, okay. Hey, we're going to be back. Callers, we'll be back. A lot more Morning Blend on this Wednesday morning here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
You're all over the town, you're chasing down every crack and crevice you own. You're all over the place, you're trying to roam. You're living a sweet thing at home. I don't care if you live in life for the key, if you live in day and town. This thing don't discriminate. I want you to know when karma come round, don't wear a frown when you're raining on your parade. But don't you know that while you are looking for sugar, someone can taste your honey.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
RBC is good for all of you. Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure, RBC is good for all of you. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
It's time for your first good traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. In real-time traffic, we're seeing heavy traffic on Prince Charles Drive. At the major intersections like Fox Hill Road, but especially the closer you get to Beatrice Avenue, westbound mainly, and straight from Beatrice Avenue into Robinson Road up to Marathon East-West Highway. Slow-moving westbound traffic this morning. Your alternate routes are going to be just as bad at Burnett Road, especially near the schools, multiple schools in that area. And then Eastern Road, you are parked from San Souci to about Johnson Road. Heavy traffic this morning in Eastern New Providence. Then we've got Blue Hill Road. As usual, from St. Vincent straight up to Independence Drive, you're going to be seeing that slow-moving traffic, especially north of Carmichael. Carmichael is backed up as well, almost to Faith Avenue, almost to Fire Trail Road, actually. But very heavy eastbound traffic there this morning. Then we've got Milo Butler Highway from Fire Trail straight up to Tawny Williams Darling Highway, the northbound lanes there, as usual, heavy traffic. Fire Trail back to both directions as well. Faith Avenue there looking busy for you also. And Glasson Road also from Fire Trail straight up to the roundabout with John F. Kennedy Drive and Bahamar Boulevard, also seeing heavy traffic this morning. Carmichael westbound, slow-moving traffic to Coral Harbor Road. That's what we're seeing right now. We'll have another update for you in our 8 o'clock hour. Morning Blend Traffic brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you. it's time for a look at weather, brought to you by Grosvenor Medical Center. Screening for colorectal cancer should begin at the age of 45. Reduce your risk for colon cancer and schedule your colonoscopy today at reduced prices for the months of March and April at the office of Dr. Harold Munnings, located next to Princess Margaret Hospital. They're offering an even lower price for those who present their NHI cards. Give them a call today, 328-5550. That's Grosvenor Medical Center. Here's what's happening weather-wise. We've got a broad ridge of high pressure centered in the central tropical Atlantic that extends a surface ridge through the Bahamas. It's going to promote mainly stable conditions, along with moderate to fresh breezes. But a small craft advisory remains in effect for the southeast Bahamas, and boaters are urged to avoid entering Atlantic waters in this area. By Friday, a prefrontal trough is expected to elevate shower chances across the northern Bahamas, while low-level moisture will enhance shower activity over the southeastern islands. The associated frontal boundary is expected to become quasi-stationary around the northern islands before weakening and lifting northward. High pressure will build behind that front, temporarily restoring stable conditions before another frontal boundary approaches by the start of next week. That's going to bring some cloudy skies and wet weather, especially for the northernmost islands. There is a high risk of rip currents in the central and southeast Bahamas today, especially along eastern shorelines, and a moderate risk of rip currents for eastern coastlines in the northern and northwest Bahamas. For today, we're looking at partly to mostly sunny conditions, becoming fair at night for most areas. Less than a 10% chance of showers for the northern and northwest Bahamas, about a 20% chance of isolated showers for the central and southeast Bahamas, decreasing to 10% by this afternoon. Winds southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots for the northern and northwest Bahamas, east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts for the central and southeast Bahamas. Temperatures today, we're looking at highs getting up to around 84, 85 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 69 Fahrenheit, 19, 20 Celsius. We'll have your extended outlook coming up in our next weather check. This weather check also brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Head over to Easy Car Sales and experience the electric drive that's impossible not to love. Take a test drive at their Gladstone Road or their new highway location at Abundant Life Road during the month of love and enter for your chance to win a 2-night stay at the Grand Hyatt with a $500 resort credit. Visit easy242.com and feel the love this February at Easy Car Sales.
Attention, valued customers of the Water and Sewage Corporation. We wish to inform you that our office at the Mall of Marathon will be closing on Friday, February 28th, 2025. But don't worry, we are making it easy for you to continue managing your accounts with us from the comfort of your home or on the go. We encourage you to take advantage of our convenient digital payment options. Visit our website at wsc.com.bs to make payments securely. Call us at 302-5630 to pay by phone, or use your preferred financial institution to pay directly. Switching to these online options helps you save time and ensures you never miss a payment. We are here to make your experience as smooth and easy as possible. Thank you for being a valued customer, and we look forward to serving you in new ways.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located at the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
With escalating global conflicts, are you ready for what's next? Join us at RF Bahamas Economic Outlook on March 12th at Bahamar, where top global and local experts will break down the key economic, political, and social trends shaping our future. Hear from KT McFarland, former Trump National Security Advisor, and more. Plus, gain CPD credits, powerful insights, and high-impact networking all in one day. Don't miss out. Secure your spot now at rfbeo.com. That's rfbeo.com. RF Bahamas Economic Outlook. See you there.
Are you ready to break up with your car? Easy Car Sales invites you to fall in love with an electric vehicle. Ditch the gas pump, the expensive mechanics. Feel the freedom, the power. Visit easy242.com and make a date to test drive an electric vehicle today. Get into a better relationship. Find your perfect match at Easy Car Sales and drive electric happily ever after.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Alpha Sounds Promotion presents Back to Love, an unforgettable evening of smooth R&B vibes and cherished memories. Join us at the Nassau Cruise Port on Saturday, February 15th for a spectacular all-white affair featuring live performances by soul sensations Freddie Jackson,
Hey everybody, it's Freddie Jackson. I'm coming to Nassau, Bahamas, and we are looking forward to the night of love.
also performing Regina Bell. Also featuring Bahamas' very own Essence Band. Back to Love, Saturday, February 15th. It's a spectacular all-white affair at the Nassau Cruise Port. Get tickets online. BahamasEtickets.com. Plantation Bar and Grill, Big Boys Cafe, and Tropics Bar and Grill. For more info, contact 822-6863.
And I hope to see you there.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello? This Epic battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice. It's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
Music man. This is not a golden rule. Take it and don't be no fool. Check this, you'll never see a dog barking at a parked car. You'll never see him barking if the car ain't moving.
We are back with Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner on this Wednesday morning. And coming up in a few minutes, we're going to delve into the debate about transgender athletes in sports. We're going to get into that coming up. But right now, we continue with what's in the news and talking about this audit that uncovered passport fraud. The passport office saying they are dealing with something that is nothing new, happens all over the world, but the difference is, Laverne, now they're taking action. Oh, boy. Okay, well, better late than never, I guess. Sure. So we've got a lot of your text messages to get to, and let's read some of these. This person says here, this is a call from earlier, C. Allen is so right. It's the reason why everything is so antiquated, because if they change things, it will expose all the corruption that is going on. When will the people of this country demand accountability? Well, many are. Right, Laverne? Many are, but plenty of people like things the way they are. Is Laverne muted? Check her mic there for me, please.
I'm not
Oh,
muted.
there you go. There you go. Okay. Couldn't hear you for a second.
That's because I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Good to know.
I was listening to you.
Laverne, I agree with your explanation of the law being that the Parliament has discretion, and no, we the people are not satisfied and are tired of the legislature pretending that they are hopeless and uttering sentiments of sympathy. It is sickening. It is really, really ridiculous. And as you mentioned it, we said it yesterday, they're in there wasting a lot of time, running around, playing action hero, grabbing stuff, throwing out windows, saying get him, all kinds of nonsense, like this is some terrible Marvel movie. But what are they really doing? Are they doing anything that's impacting the majority of us as opposed to a few people who are here having the time of their lives while the rest of us are struggling? This person says here, several years ago, nearing elections, it was alleged that several people were given citizenship and weren't even in the country for 5 years. Furthermore, they couldn't speak a word of English. Like many foreign people running these liquor stores all over the place, cannot understand any English and are learning on the job. Wow. That's some serious accusations there. This person says, by the way, President Musk's tariffs, this is out of nowhere, okay, make no sense in the clear absence of a well-thought-out economic strategy. U.S. businesses engage in foreign trade because they can purchase the thing at a lower price abroad as opposed to local sourcing. If a high tariff is placed on top of the foreign input to make it more expensive and less attractive, it does nothing for the cost of local production. Local production costs remain high. In essence, the Trump supporters in Iowa, I'm editing, will pay more for his steel pickup truck, off-road vehicle, guns, and beer. Ultimately, thanks to Musk, the stinky swamp drainage will be landing right on top of poor Midwesterners. I'm trying to edit up the race issues and comments they're putting in here. MAGA man's head. Yes, I think almost everybody sees that except for Trump and his rabid supporters. But hey, we will feel it too. We will. I'm a recently retired banker. The number of people that came into the bank to transact business using Bahamian passports as their form of ID was concerning to me because too many persons were not able to understand English, yet they held Bahamian passports. Our country is in trouble.
Can you call, would you be able to call the police in a situation like that? Like, would they come out? Would that be a thing that you could do? Like, I'm calling from such and such a place, cause a concern. We ask them to provide identification, passport. This person has provided passport but is unable to speak any English.
You could call them. You could call the passport office. You could call immigration. You could call the defense force. But, depending on the year, there might not be any action. This is a year of action, apparently. But maybe if you did it last year, they'd be like, what you want us to do? Man, you ain't got nothing to do,
Okay.
Probably. I mean, obviously, we're in the same place, right? Anyway, let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Caller, are you there? let's take that call there. Okay, good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight.
Hi.
And good morning, Laverne.
Good morning.
Listen, this thing ain't just been happening, Dwight. We know that. This been happening for eons. I tell you of a little story, quick little story.
Every time you tell us a story, I get very nervous.
Yeah, I was born in the U.S., right? And my parents, everybody was Bahamian. So that afforded me the opportunity to have a Bahamian passport, being born to a Bahamian mother prior to 1973. When I got at the age, I decided to apply for the Bahamian passport at the passport office, which I did. And the lady there must have thought I was some type of, from down south. And she told me to go to the then manager, I wouldn't call his name, the then manager of the passport office around the front. To which I did. I said, oh boy, I can get my passport quick. Only to find out when I stepped in the then manager's office, the first thing came out of his mouth was good morning and $5,000. And I said to him, what? I said, 5,000. He said, you come for passport, right? I said, yes, sir, but let's check my paperwork out, And when he saw that I was born to be in my mother's stuff, he sent me round the back round the back. And then to me said, my passport, right? This footage has been going on for eons.
Wow. What year was that?
Man.
What year was that?
This was when I was about 18, 19. I wouldn't tell you how old I is now, but that was many years ago. At least about 30-something, 40 years ago. Fortunately for that manager, he was jailed for the same activity.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Yeah, he was. But it tells you, Dwight, how long this nonsense has been going on in this country. They know exactly what they do in a passport office, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
They need a thorough investigation into that passport office.
Wow. That's very disturbing. All right. I'm glad to hear that he was jailed. How long do you think? Do you know how long he got? Or no? He's gone? Okay. But wow. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Laverne.
Hi, good morning.
Listening to the gentleman this time, because I was prompted to call when I hear you talking about the findings at the passport office, which, like the gentleman said, we all knew that things like this was happening. Seeing that this is a new day, thank God that manager ended up where he belonged for that reason. What is going to happen to the personnel that is engaging in this? And like it's said, it's not from one angle. It's not just the passport office. And a lot of times, too, we need to do something with the JP. I don't know, because some of these nonsense transpire because of their handiwork. Because now when you're getting new passports and stuff, you need these JP's stamp and signature. So I need to find out, since Mr. Fred Mitchell is boasting that this is a work that they have begun and nobody else has done it. I need to find out if these persons are going to be, and all of them who were a part of it, knowingly a part of it, because some of them probably were a part and wasn't knowing that they was doing it. You understand? After they received the paperwork, they figured everything was straight. But,
we're all waiting to see what happens.
Pardon me?
We're all waiting to see what's going to happen. They've done the investigation. They know that there's an issue. What now?
Dwight, I am really frustrated at this point with waiting to see what the government is going to do. I feel like we now need to stand up and speak out in one unified voice and stop looking for colors or who did what back when. And if you're the new government, I could care less what the old government did or did not do. You are there now. Do something. Stop telling me what they didn't do. Do something. I am waiting for the person to come knock on my door. I am waiting for that lady to knock on my door.
Wow. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
She has to answer some questions as to why certain laws has not been passed and how are they working for the people and for me.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm tempted to ask who that is that you're talking about, but we're all waiting for all of them to come. Let's take these calls really quickly. We've got some interesting text messages here. Good morning, caller. You are on the air. Hi. Good morning,
Dwight.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to the nation and to your guests. Dwight,
Good morning.
this problem here that we have in our nation is a vexing problem. I mean, it's a worldwide problem. The thing is that people has, this is a thing to do with greed. And, it's a competition thing. Someone's watching me. They want what I have. They don't know how I got it, but they're willing to do anything to get what I have and what you have. This thing goes from back in the beginning of time. We met it here. It is unfortunate that, I think we have enough Bahamians that would like to see it fixed, but I don't know if it's going to ever become fixed, Dwight, because when you send the team in there to investigate the problem, and when they find out what the problem is and how much money is being coming through, then they join the circle themselves. So they get their share, and this thing continues to go on because everybody's getting their piece of the pie, to build their big houses and, to do everything that they want to do in life, drive the finest cars, wear the finest clothes and all like that. So I don't know. I think...
You really think
Dwight,
this is that bad, that the majority of the people are going to be...
Dwight, it is bad. The neighbor sitting next to you who is watching you want what you have, Dwight, and they're willing to do whatever to get it. It is unfortunate, but that's the mindset of the human race today. Everybody wants to be on top. Everybody wants to have the best. Everybody wants to have the big house, and they don't want to work. That's the problem. They don't want to work. They want to find it the easiest way they can get it. And unfortunately, that means that they have to do something corruptive to get it.
Okay.
All right?
Fine.
But I don't know. It's crazy.
I know it's bad, but I don't know if it's that bad. I don't know. But there are easy ways to fix this, right? Everything needs to happen in the office. You need to have cameras everywhere. You might audio. You need to, right? So that you're monitored at every turn. You need 5 signatures for everything. Unless you're trying to say all 5 will be, wow. But yeah, something like that needs to happen. Let's take these calls really quickly. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning. Once again, I'll make this very short. Yes, systemic corruption in this country. We all know that these systems are corrupted, and it's sad to hear that the legislators and the lawmakers, they're always talking about these things, but yet the needle on the dial just does not seem to be moving. We talk about fixing the country, which many of us are concerned because we know the country could be a lot prosperous than what it is. We know our Bahamian people can live a lot more comfortably than we are today, but yet it seems as if we are deliberately being left in this position, so it will be us and it'll be them. But I'm just going to segue here for a second, if you would permit me, Dwight, to say congratulations to Western Air for the excellent work and the report, based upon the report that your newscast did just now. It shows that Bahamians are serious about moving our aviation industry along quite successfully. And boy, if we could get our national airline to the level of where it is alleged that Western Air is doing, and they're turning a profit, perhaps we can then begin to make our airline profitable, where we can begin to move some people throughout the islands. Thanks for
Don't hold your breath. People will fly sooner than that happening. You can if you get the government out of it. But anyway. And our final call on this. Good morning, caller. You are on the air. Are you there? Hi, good morning. Turn on your radio for us, please.
Sorry. Something quick I was supposed to mention. In an effort to curb this illegal immigration problem, I am a part of a grouping called the Patriots. It's 7 of us, and we have petitioned to put the government, the Attorney General, the Ministry of Immigration and the Governor General in court. We are at that point now. We'll be putting them in court for the use of the Fraudulent Nationality Act. I just wanted to say that. Any Bahamians wanting to join, you check with Steve McKinney, and you'll be able to join the Patriotic Bahamians. Thanks for taking my call.
Good luck. All right, so here are a couple text messages as we go. This person says here, so speaking English determines if my passport is fraudulent or not? What do you make of that, Laverne? I mean, this is the Bahamas. We're not talking about some other places. Right? I mean... I would think
you able to obtain the passport?
How did you become a citizen? You don't speak any English at all? What have you been doing? How long have you been living here? You've not picked up on anything? Yeah, something's a little weird about that.
How did you become a citizen?
Ah, man. So yeah, that's an issue. It is concerning. That is a bit concerning. I could see in some other countries, perhaps, especially where they're large.
English-speaking country. That is.
Well, some other English-speaking countries, but they've got big populations where people don't speak English, and that could possibly happen. But here,
how did you do it?
I don't know. This texter says here, relevant to the discussion of the fraudulent passports and instances of bribery, the Independent Commission for Investigations Bill 2025 is most likely to be debated today in Parliament. The bill, which has been expanded from the bill that was tabled in 2024, establishes an independent mechanism that can receive complaints or allegations from community members, not just on the security forces, but across the breadth of government. The law and the benchmarking report are on orgbahamas.com. It's from our friends at Org Bahamas. And we will be speaking with Org soon, and hopefully we'll have these discussions. Okay, so before we go to the break, again, we're going to have that discussion on transgender athletes in sports in just a moment. There is another story I really quickly want you all to hear. Listen to this, folks. This is another one of those, oh boy. So jury clears man of murder of his brother's alleged killer. Jury clears man of murdering his brother's alleged killer. Our Artesia Davis writing that a man accused of a revenge murder was acquitted by a majority verdict of 7-1 on Tuesday. Prosecutors allege that Brandon Evans gunned down Andy Sip Johnson at the Blue Hill Road Farmers Market in New Providence on October 7th, 2022. At the time of his death, Johnson was on bail for the December 2nd, 2019 murder of Evans's brother, Brian. The prosecution relied on an alleged confession in which Evans claimed that he killed Johnson because he had taken away the family's primary breadwinner, causing them to be evicted. However, defense lawyer Miranda Adderley urged the jury not to accept the purported confession, which she said was obtained under duress. Evans did not take the stand, but Adderley presented evidence to show that he had been rushed to the hospital by ambulance from the station. His former lawyer testified that police interviewed Evans without contacting him. He said Evans complained that police had beaten him to confess. After 2 hours of deliberations, the jury acquitted Evans of the charges. Despite his acquittal, police officers detained Evans on an accusation that he had damaged the car of Karen Hamilton, the sister of the deceased, on February 5th, as in like this year, February 5th. Okay. But yes, 7-1. Things to make you go, boy. Hey, let's take a break. This is Morning Blend on a Wednesday morning here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're going to be back. Stay with us.
Because dog don't bark at Baka. No way. Come on. The only time we can start barking is when the car start moving.
Spain sounds like this. But with a little Caribbean, it can sound like this. The world needs more Caribbean. And with FedEx, you can ship your products to every corner. With increased cargo capabilities, 24/7 shipment tracking, and shipping tools, take your business worldwide and enjoy life a bit more like us.
I am sure that you insure your car, your home, and you might take out health insurance. Did you know that your Bahamian dollar deposits are also insured?
Really? How so?
The Bahamas Deposit Insurance Corporation, DIC, provides financial protection with immediate coverage without any additional charges, up to a maximum of $50,000 per depositor.
$50,000?
$50,000? Think I break it.
That's right. Your deposits, whether a joint account, business account, trust, or your personal savings, are all protected by the DIC.
Yeah, boy.
But what if a bank runs into problems, you ask? Rest assured, your deposit and interest are calculated up to the date of closure, and payouts are made promptly, whether you're a local or non-resident.
I like the sound of that. Sign me up.
Just open an account with a bank or credit union that is a member of the deposit insurance, and that's it. You are automatically covered, no extra paperwork, no added cost. The Bahamas Deposit Insurance Corporation, Peace of mind assured, your deposits secure.
Marcia, are you scrapbooking?
No, Dad. It's a vision board for my dream home.
Take a look at CIBC Caribbean's Realtors Hub. You can get pre-qualified for your mortgage, connect with the best realtors, and get up to 95% financing with up to 35 years to repay.
Really? Wow. It's perfect for a first-time home owner like me.
Honey, it's even good for old-timers like me.
Visit CIBCFCIB.com/Realtors Hub to get started today.
Better say Lampkin. Besides carrying all the roofing material needed to cover East End, Enterprises also has all the equipment needed to put it together and to protect your workers. At Enterprises, we got hand tools, power and manual, including hacksaws, hammers, mauls, wrecking bars, well, hopefully they won't need them yet, drill bits, tapes, plumb bobs, levels, and more. We got cement, concrete bond and fiber, lime, sand, and P-rock. We got dust masks, safety glasses, gloves, hard hats, and high visibility vests. Lampkin, what we got here at Enterprises is a one-stop shop for builders.
On Saturday, February 22nd, 2025 at 7 p.m., the Bahamar Convention Center will set the stage for an unforgettable celebration of 25 years of giving back and supporting healthcare education in the Bahamas. Experience a night of excitement with exquisite fine dining, captivating live entertainment, and an inspiring atmosphere as we come together to celebrate and shape a brighter, healthier future. Tickets are available now. Reserve your spot today by emailing dhfoundation@doctorshosp.com or calling 242-302-4640. Sponsorship opportunities are also available to show your support for this important cause. The Doctors Hospital Meyer Rassin Foundation. 25 years of transforming healthcare and building a legacy. Don't miss this special celebration.
Are you craving that fresh, famous food, but don't want to break the bank? Wendy's has got you covered. You can now enjoy the $5 Dave's deal at all participating Wendy's locations. Enjoy a Dave's single, a classic, or spicy chicken sandwich made with fresh ingredients for just $5. So don't compromise on flavor just because you're on a budget. Wendy's always offers fresh, famous food at a great price. Certain conditions apply.
RBC. Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure, RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Here's the show-winning art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor and paints, the oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic paints, the little Floetrol, and we have cleaning products for the artists, thinning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. We also have airbrush paint. I didn't forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobby craft,
Oil, shrimp, stew, shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find colour in every day.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Are you ready to elevate your day with a burst of flavor? Look no further than Dunkin', your ultimate destination for everything delicious. From our freshly brewed coffee that is sure to pick you up, to our signature frozen beverages that will cool you down. And don't forget our mouth-watering sandwiches, made to order all day. Dunkin' has it all. And of course, our lineup of fresh donuts, muffins, and more. Dive into a world of yummy flavors at Dunkin' and bring joy to your day. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
Fall in love with your water service this February with the Water and Sewage Corporation Sweet Savings Campaign. Pay your bill in full on or before the due date. Complete the entry form and we'll sweeten the deal with a 5% discount on your next bill. That's right, save some sweet cash just by keeping your account current. It's simple, it's easy, and it's our way of saying thank you for being a valued customer. Don't miss out. Offer runs from February 1st to the 28th. Show your water service some love and enjoy the savings that come with it. Visit our website at wsc.com.bs today to learn more. Pay in full, save more. It's that simple with Sweet Savings. The Water and Sewage Corporation, refreshing your life with sweet savings this Valentine's Day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend, and it's time for your final look at weather for this morning, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams has got you covered for all your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams online or in-store today. Here's what's happening weather-wise. We've got a broad ridge of high pressure centered in the central tropical Atlantic that's extending a surface ridge through the Bahamas, promoting mostly stable conditions across the islands with moderate to fresh breezes. We do have a small craft advisory in effect for the southeast Bahamas, and boaters are urged to avoid entering Atlantic waters in that part of the country. By Friday, a prefrontal trough is expected to elevate shower chances across the northern islands, while low-level moistures will enhance shower activity over the southeastern Bahamas. The associated frontal boundary is expected to become quasi-stationary, and that's going to impact the northern islands before weakening and lifting northward. High pressure will build behind that front, and that's going to restore the stable conditions before another frontal boundary approaches by very late Sunday into the start of next week, and that's going to bring cloudy skies and a wet weather pattern across the northernmost islands. There's also risk for rip currents, high risk of rip currents in the central southeast Bahamas, a moderate risk for the northern and northwest Bahamas. For most areas today, we're looking at partly sunny conditions becoming fair at night, about a 10% chance of showers in the northern and northwest islands, but a 20% chance for the central and southeast Bahamas. High temperatures today near 85 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 67, 68 Fahrenheit, about 19-20 Celsius. In your extended outlook for Thursday, tomorrow, partly mostly sunny, turning fair at night. By Friday, Valentine's Day, partly sunny in the northwest Bahamas, partly mostly cloudy elsewhere, becoming mainly fair at night across all areas. A 30% chance of showers for the northern and southeast Bahamas. And by Saturday, partly mostly cloudy in the northwest and northern Bahamas, turning mainly fair at night. Expect a mix of sun and clouds elsewhere, turning mostly fair at night. Sunday, partly sunny during the day, becoming fair at night. That's your Morning Blend Weather Check. Weather Check also brought to you by Kalik, the Bear of the Bahamas, inviting you to Victory Fest 2025, March 1st at Smuggler's Square for an epic celebration of the 2024 Boxing Day and 2025 New Year's Day Junkanoo winners, the Saxon Superstars. The Junkanoo season may be over, but the celebration is just getting started. Enjoy music by Playhouse DJs, Little Giant and DJ Tank, and performing live fans Sean and D-Mac. Celebrate the 4 straight Junkanoo winners, the Saxon Superstars, with Kalik, the Bear of the Bahamas. And we got your final look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. We're seeing lots of heavy traffic all over this morning, so you're going to need a lot of patience. We are still seeing the slow-moving westbound traffic on Eastern Road from San Souci to about Johnson Road westbound. Bernard Road still busy for you. Prince Charles Drive and major intersections, especially anywhere in east and west of Beatrice Avenue, mainly westbound. Heavy traffic straight up through Robinson Road to Marathon and East-West Highway. Marathon northbound, also slow-moving traffic at this hour. Then we've got Independence Drive backed up in both directions, east and westbound. East Street, north and south of the Soldier Road intersection, looking busy for you, as is Blue Hill Road from St. Vincent straight up to Independence Drive. Carmichael is backed up to nearly Fire Trail Road if you're heading eastbound. And then there's Marlow Butler Highway, heavy traffic just north of Carmichael, all the way up to Tawny Williams Darling Highway. And busy for you near Fire Trail and Faith Avenue. Faith Avenue, not looking pleasant at all for you this morning. We've got West Bay Street also seeing some heavy traffic from Arawak straight into downtown. And downtown Bay Street busy as well. So good luck this morning. That's your real-time traffic and your morning traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you. We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner, and we're going to have a very interesting, provocative conversation this morning talking about transgender athletes in sports. U.S. President Donald Trump recently signing an executive order intent to ban transgender athletes from participating in girls' and women's sports. The order, titled, quote, "Keeping Men Out of Women's Sports," gives U.S. federal agencies wide latitude to ensure entities that receive federal funding abide by Title IX in the U.S., in alignment with the Trump administration's view, which interprets sex as the gender someone was assigned at birth. So Trump, at the signing last week in the East Room, saying, quote, "With this executive order, the war on women's sports is over." And the timing of the order coinciding with National Girls and Women in Sports Day, and the latest in a string of executive actions that Trump has issued targeting transgender people. But we are talking about it this morning. Is this right? Is this fair? Does it make sense? How do you feel about it? We've got some special guests, Laverne, this morning here. We've got the current...
Welcome, special guest.
We've got the current NASA Guardian Sports Editor, Sheldon Longley. And we've got the former NASA Guardian Sports Editor, Siobhan Moss, who's the current Lifestyles Editor. And Siobhan used to be an athlete.
Very long time.
Very long time ago.
Oh, you got some heavy hitters in there.
And she has some interesting stories. But they're both with us today. Thank you for being here. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Okay, so let's begin with your view before we get deeper into the nuances here. But if I don't know if it can be a yes or no type of question, but Siobhan, let's begin with you. How do you feel? Transgender athletes, should people be participating in sports with athletes who were, not born the same gender?
I 100% agree with the order. I don't tend to agree with other things that this president has said, but that order, as soon as I heard it, I started clapping, doing the little clap thing, because I was all for it 100%. I am a firm believer in men competing against men, women competing against women. Now, if you were born now, if we have to go a step further, if people consider themselves transgender, then maybe we need to create a group where they compete against themselves. But I don't believe in transgender men, if that's the correct terminology, competing against women.
I think it's transgender women.
Oh, what? That's why I'm saying
Competing
if it's the correct thing.
Women, yes, right, right.
Are they transgender women or men?
You were born male, and now
Right.
you've transitioned to female.
And
so,
for
so
me,
transgender women.
For me, it's the physical behind it. Because if you're born male, you are automatically going to have a higher testosterone. Your body is designed to be Sheldon. Work it out. You're designed to be. It's different. So you're going to have more power. Now, I'm not saying, let me get...
Strength.
Right.
Right.
Men and women can't compete against each other. That can't. But at a competitive level, I don't agree
physical
with it.
level.
Yeah, I don't agree with it.
Okay, Sheldon?
Yeah, I agree 1,000%, man. And I think what we see what the IOC is doing right now, they're allowing transgender athletes to compete under certain stipulations, right? You have to declare yourself as a woman 4 years in advance, and your testosterone level have to be down to a certain level for at least a year. I totally disagree with that. And the IOC is the governing body for Olympic sports worldwide. So anything they do, other leagues could very well follow. I agree with everything Trump is doing. Like Siobhan said, not only is your testosterone level comes into factor, but your body structure is different. And muscle mass throughout the body. You don't just use testosterone only to get an advantage over your opponent. Muscle mass is very important. And they're just built differently. And we've seen it in issues already where transgender athletes have competed as women in women's sports, and they've been dominating.
So let me stick up, and I was just going to say, with Sheldon saying that, every time, now, I watched because Caster Semenya has not competed for.
Caster's different.
Right, hold on. Every time Caster competed, I cringed because Caster's body is built like a man.
But hold on now,
But she's not transgender.
She was born a woman.
She was born a woman, but
not
she has
transgender.
her testosterone is out of this world. But she looks well. Didn't they say she was intersex or intrasex?
She's born a woman. I think she has male chromosomes in her body. Probably a little bit more. I think it's the XY chromosome factor. She probably have a little bit more than the average female. But she's born a woman.
Okay.
So her situation is
It's a
completely
little bit
different.
unique.
Yeah,
right.
but
what World Athletics did for her, they said, okay, well, you would have to bring your testosterone level
and she didn't
down.
want to take it.
She didn't want to do it because she feels if she's natural, she's fully natural, and she didn't want to put anything in her system. And we can't blame her for that. But her situation is completely different than
Okay,
transgender.
but still, whenever I see her, I just see her structure. So imagine that competing against the average woman. Not to say the average woman cannot beat a male. Yes, it can happen. But
At the competitive
physically,
level, it's different.
I don't think,
Laverne?
you didn't ask me, Dwight, but I'm going to just chime in.
Okay, yeah, you go on.
I 100% agree also with the order. It just isn't right. It's everything that Sheldon and Siobhan has said. So I was doing some research, right? So let me bring some stats. Let's look at the 2024 Olympics. Noah Lyles won the 100 meters, 9.79 seconds. Let's look at the female who won the 100 meters. That was what, Julian Alfred?
Yes.
10.72.
Wow.
So her that's not even the fastest time in the world, of all times. But her 10.72, she would not have even been in the finals with that time. So how can we have these, when you look at it like that?
well,
Her time wouldn't have even been there. If you go back, I think it was Elaine Herrera saying her fastest time. When you compare her fastest time that she had in the 100, I think it said maybe she would be like the 150th fastest or something like that with that time against men.
Yeah, but Laverne, I wouldn't even go to that level. Imagine at the high school level where you have a kid who is a teenager dominating because they were born a male, but they identify as female and crushing little girls' spirits who are running their best. It starts from there. It should not happen.
Yeah, to Laverne's point.
Sorry, she would be placed 15,000.
Yeah, Laverne, to your point, the world record in the women's 100 meters is 10.49 seconds. Wow. That's FloJo. That's FloJo. And she was under heavy suspicion of performance-enhancing drugs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right? So that's why.
And that time can't even qualify you for the men's 100 meters at the Olympics.
Okay.
All right, so we need to take a break for news headlines. When we come back, I want to ask if there are sports where you think it would be more acceptable. No. You're already saying no. Okay. And we've got a lot of messages coming in as well. We're having a discussion about transgender athletes in sports. How did we even get to this point, right? This seems like a no-brainer, right? But yet...
Goes to show you how powerful that movement is.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll find out what movement he's talking about when we come back. This is Morning Blend. We're going to take this in business in just a bit. Stay with us.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Are you ready to break up with your? Easy Car Sales invites you to fall in love with an electric vehicle. Ditch the gas pump, the expensive mechanics. Feel the freedom, the power. Visit easy242.com and make a date to test drive an electric vehicle today. Get into a better relationship. Find your perfect match at Easy Car Sales and drive electric happily ever after.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello? This Epic battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
With escalating global conflicts, are you ready for what's next? Join us at RF Bahamas Economic Outlook on March 12th at Bahamar, where top global and local experts will break down the key economic, political, and social trends shaping our future. Hear from Admiral Mike Rogers, former head of U.S. Cyber Command, and more. Plus, gain CPD credits, powerful insights, and high-impact networking all in one day. Don't miss out. Secure your spot now at rfbeo.com. That's rfbeo.com. RF Bahamas Economic Outlook. See you there.
Wake up. It's a new day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
You're a builder. You want to give your client the best material at the best prices, and you need to put food on the table. Well, check out these prices at Pinder Enterprises. 5/8 pressure-treated roofing ply starting at $36.68, includes VAT. By the way, all these prices include VAT. Gray Select Water Shield, $134.20 a roll. Felt, 15 pounds, $16.50, 30 pounds, $19.80. Owens Corning Duration Shingles and Certainty Landmark Shingles, $56.56 a bundle. Gallon Roof Cement, $33.47. When it comes to screwing and nailing, Pinder got you covered. He got every nail and screw you could possibly need.
The Water and Sewage Corporation is rolling out new digital meters designed to give you more accurate readings. With advanced technology, you'll be able to monitor your water usage in real time, get more accurate bills and early leak detection to avoid costly surprises. Better service starts now. Watch for our installation team in your neighborhood and get ready to experience the convenience of digital meters. Follow us on our social media platforms for more information. Digital meters from the Water and Sewage Corporation. Innovative, convenient, and designed for you.
Spain sounds like this. But with a little Caribbean, it can sound like this. The world needs more Caribbean. And with FedEx, you can ship your products to every corner with increased cargo capabilities, 24/7 shipment tracking, and shipping tools. Take your business worldwide and enjoy life a bit more like us.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday, February 12th, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner, and we are having an interesting conversation this morning, taking it into our business hour. Transgender athletes in sports, discussing it with the Nassau Guardian sports editor, Sheldon Longley, and former sports editor, Siobhan Moss, and having a great conversation so far. So before the break, I said, are there sports where it won't make a difference? Yes, the power, the strength that you need in track, perhaps boxing and wrestling might be an issue, but are there other sports where skill makes a difference, not so much your strength and power, where this might be acceptable?
Okay.
I wouldn't say all sports, but I would say most sports, right? Like if you look at other sports like darts, you can argue that maybe that's a little bit more skill-oriented, more than physical prowess,
Or checkers or
chess or, stuff like that. Chess is considered a sport. Other sports where you don't need so much physical ability. So might not make a difference in those particular sports.
Right.
Yeah, but when you come to, like, people will say, oh, let's try tennis, for instance. So tennis is a big skills game. So you have to think your angles, your shots. You have to think smart. But you still, right, I was getting to that. I was going to say you need strength, because if you're a big baseline player and you're going to be hitting from the baseline, you're going to need some power behind you. But you can't stay there all day. But I just don't think that a male should try to match up with a female if you were born a male. Now, mind you, let me put this on the table. I love seeing exhibition matches when male and females compete for fun together.
It's a good training regimen for females.
But
right?
you know what you're doing.
I can attest to that.
Right. So you were telling me this story off air, and you've got some pictures to prove this. In your younger days, you played on the men's soccer team?
Oh, yes, I did.
Tell us this story.
So it started from high school as one of the first female soccer players in the country.
And you're not transgender.
No, I'm not
Okay.
transgender.
You just have to state it.
She brought the whole yearbook here, man.
Yes, that's
yearbook.
yes. Well, it started in high school. SAC Lou Adderley coached the first female soccer players in this country. We played a team out of Houlton, Maine, got beat 8-1, and that started in 1987. That was the genesis of women's soccer in this country. Afterwards, everything sort of disbanded because a lot of the girls were playing it for fun. But I really, really loved the sport. So I continued training. The only way I could get some training was with the men because we only had men's teams in this country. Wilson Bain from Coke, that was the name of the team, Coca-Cola, but we just say Coke. He gladly had me train with his men. So I trained with Wilson's team.
But did you play with them?
Not in the league, no. I just trained.
Okay.
But that training allowed me, when I went to university,
You were on the men's team when you went to university.
I tried out for the men's team. I did a tryout, and Jack, I remember he was African, and he was the coach at the time, and he liked what he saw, and he was like, sure. They allowed me on the team.
And you played?
And I played.
You played against the men.
I played against the men.
This is the 80s?
This was 1999, late.
60s or 70s.
This is early 90s.
Early
What was
90s.
the reaction to that?
You know,
Was it an uproar? Was there a problem? Why is she there?
That never was.
No, there shouldn't be because
Never was.
Like, even something like that's different from a fully men's team playing against a fully women's team.
Just like
Right?
we
That's the
now
main
have
issue right
women
now.
now playing football on the men's team. Like a lot of them are kickers on the men's team. But I will say this: here's one learning lesson I did get. We played. That was an exhibition against the Army,
Go on, tell that story.
and the power. I played forward that came off this guy's foot with that ball that got me in the solar plexus. All I could do was drop.
Oh yeah,
And I just
nobody see.
They took everything out of me.
If I'm playing against a team and there's a female on it, I'm looking at her as she's a male. You know,
But-
she ain't gonna embarrass me.
But it's
I'm
not
going
embarrassing.
I'm going full effort.
Sheldon, I could embarrass you. Guess what? Because the skill, that training that I got, I became very ambidextrous with both legs. I was able to use both legs, or both feet. And so that means I had a lot of skill. That's the difference.
All right, so here's a texter saying that there's hypocrisy here because women playing on men's team, you mentioned American football as well, right? People don't seem to have an issue with it, but if there were a man playing on the women's teams, it would be an issue. What's the difference there? If there were a guy playing on the women's soccer team, people would be outraged.
We're talking about the strength and physical that they bring to the team experience. I could never beat I could beat them with a trick. I could get around them. But when we go in one-on-one with strength, I could never. I tell you, I took a ball to the solar plexus and that was just it. Just drop out for the count, can't do nothing, can't breathe. Get off the field. That was it.
Yeah, it's a strength factor and a muscle mass factor, for your entire body.
Yeah.
Right. Your arms are stronger, your legs are stronger. Right. Your torso is bigger, it's larger. Right. So that in itself, creates an unfair advantage for the female team that you're playing against. Right. If you have a male athlete who's on a female team playing against a total female team. So that in itself, it just it hurts the entire nature of sports.
Yeah, I could never put 80 miles an hour behind a ball. Never.
All right, so let me just read the text, and you've already answered, I believe. But anyway, the text says, this transgender thing, if men should not be in women's sports, okay, fine. But then the hypocrisy, why are women allowed on male teams? Make it make sense. There are women who have more testosterone than men. They also have more strength. There are women who turned into men who are in men's sports. Apply law to both.
I wasn't trying to be a male. I was just a female trying to continue to play the sport that I love, and I didn't have an avenue at the time. So I am not going against somebody that's inherently weaker than I am. They were all physically stronger than I am. They treated me like a little sister. And I think for them it was a novelty. Now remember, this was 1991. This is now 2025. So there's a big difference. I wasn't trying to be what I was not born. I was a female. I wore my lip gloss. I wore my nail polish. My hair was styled, and I took the field. But I wasn't trying to do the opposite of what I was.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, in terms of a female playing on a man's team, I think you should leave it up to the opponent to decide if they want to take that challenge on, right? Generally, women are looked at as being smaller and not as strong as men. So most teams would be like, all right, that's a woman, fine. If she wants to play, well, fine. She get a man's treatment, right? But a man playing on a female team is totally different.
So I have a photo here of the team, and if you look at my body structure compared to these men,
tiny.
Come on.
Like you look like the mascot.
hello, they probably thought I was.
You can imagine without football, American football.
It's insane.
I was talking that one. Yeah.
But is that an issue? I was thinking that. Are people targeting you intentionally? Like you are smaller,
Sure
I'm going after you.
But they have to catch me. That's the thing. So credit to Wilson Bain. He trained me well. I got 2 feet. I could get around you.
Right.
Now, I can't get around all men. But when I've got a man hitting a ball 90 miles an hour at me, I'm not going to withstand that.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
Hey, we want to hear from you on this discussion. Give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. You can call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Sheldon, you mentioned this earlier, the IOC. So according to the Associated Press, Trump also issued a warning to the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, ahead of the 2028 Summer Olympics set for Los Angeles. He said that he had empowered Secretary of State Marco Rubio to make it clear that the IOC, that America categorically rejects transgender lunacy. This is a quote. We want them to change everything having to do with the Olympics and having to do with this absolutely ridiculous subject. But the IOC has essentially passed the buck on transgender participation, deferring to the international federations for each sport. What are we likely to see?
That's going to be quite interesting.
Yeah, ahead of the Olympics.
Because the Olympics belongs to the IOC. It's their event. And the 2028 Olympics is going to be in the U.S. It's going to be in Los Angeles. So you're talking about there's going to be a difference of opinion between the top brass of the IOC and the local organizing committee for the Olympics for that particular year. I don't see the IOC bending. They normally don't bend to anything that the U.S. suggests. They have their own international executive team, body that makes decisions on their behalf. And it's going to be interesting. The amount of influence that the U.S. has worldwide is significant. But I don't know if it's going to make any headway towards what the IOC decides what they want to do.
Well, I don't see the IOC bending, because if they bend now, what will they have to bend to in the future?
This article is also saying that Thomas Bach is retiring, and that Sebastian Coe, who's the leader of World Athletics, he's a candidate to be the head of the IOC, and that he is strongly in favor of limiting participation.
Yeah, he's strongly against
sports.
it. So if Lord Coe becomes the president of the IOC, then yes, they could definitely change their views in that respect. Because World Athletics, they're one of the few governing bodies worldwide right now that do not allow transgender athletes to compete in women's sports. Right. So if he becomes the president of the IOC, yeah, I could see they definitely changing their stance on that.
Yeah. Wow. Let's go to the phone lines, and we'll get back to the text messages in just a bit. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Dwight, and to your guests. Just a couple of input. Dwight, I think what you guys in your conversation, you kind of like conflating or convoluting two things. First of all, there's a women playing on men's team and men playing on women's team. It's different than a man playing on a woman's team saying that he is a woman, which is different.
Yes, we made that point.
Okay, maybe
we're just trying to say that the differences that you experience if you are the man on the women's team and if you are the woman on the men's team, right? And so whether you declare yourself to be a female or a male, those differences are going to still arise.
Let me just get you to finishing right. Here's what happens. So they use science to make the argument concerning testosterone levels. But a man's muscular development and structure is and will always be different than a woman. So even if I, as a man, take drugs that brings down my testosterone level to within the limits of what is defined as female, what happens, though, is that I could bring it down within a fraction under that limit. which can never be naturally attained by the woman in her natural state. So that still gives me an advantage as well as the muscular structure. And so the problem is that we're trying to redefine in what is called a biological reality, even in the structure of development for who we are. And so saying something doesn't necessarily make it so. Because I consider myself a trans-billionaire, but the bank doesn't recognize my checks. So it is what it is, and I think if there has to be something, then create another genre or whatever word it is for that type of athletic competition, and you compete against comparable people in your situation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to get to that a little bit deeper into that in a bit. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You are on the air. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning, Dwight. How are you doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
And good morning, Sheldon, and your
and Siobhan.
Dwight, forget about the biological aspect of these transgender athletes. When I look at it, it just didn't really make much sense to me because you have athletes like Marion Jones, you get Ben Johnson, you get many other athletes who were caught using performance-enhancing drugs or drugs that were against the Olympic Committee rules. Then you have these transgender athletes who are on all kinds of different drugs that they totally ignored and just allowed them to compete and dominate that particular sport. But that's one of Donald Trump's common sense policies that he introduced. And finally, women are going to get a chance to excel at this sport, but then they were the ones who were always advocating for women's rights, but that's what they did to women. And Dwight, just to touch quickly on what you talked about when you're talking about those illegal passports, but one of the most damning things, not just the passport, Dwight, these people have voters' cards and they can participate in our election without being able to speak proper English. Now, bear in mind, Justice Joan Sawyer, she stated a few years back that very few of us paid attention to. She said Fred Mitchell gave out over 2,000 passports to people who couldn't speak English. This in your archives. This all over. This is fact. It's news. Who's to say he isn't doing it again? We know that type of behavior continues to permeate and our process. And, but the damning thing is that these people, they can not only vote, they can run for public office and one day become prime minister.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but okay.
They can vote. There's no...
Not that part, but about becoming prime minister. I'm not sure about that part. But I hear you. Thank you very much. Okay, so we want to get back to the topic. This texter says, this isn't that controversial of a topic at all. The vast majority of right-thinking people agree with this order, and therein lies the major dilemma for the U.S. Democratic Party. That party has pivoted so far left on some of these social issues that they have alienated large segments of the base that historically supported them because of economic issues. Another text here. That's not related to this. Okay. The messaging here is discriminatory, but this is not a moral issue. This is a fair play issue. In sports, no one should have an unnatural advantage over another competing athlete. A monitored female transgender athlete has no natural advantage over a heterosexual female athlete. I don't know where that comes in. Heterosexual has nothing to do with it at all. But that's not what this is about. Anyway, a male transgender athlete, on the other hand, does and should not compete against females. Okay, that's what people are saying.
Yeah, so Dwight, let me ask you this. So, Sheldon, what are your thoughts on if the way society is today, there are people that are born men, but they identify as women. Should we have a separate thing for them to compete under? Should they have a separate division? Now, I say that we have Special Olympians. They compete as Special Olympians, right? And now we had the Blade Runner, who was good enough to compete against a regular able-bodied athlete. So you do have that, but that's He's competing against men. He competed against men. But if he didn't want to, he could have crushed the competition going as a special athlete. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think there should be a special division for those type of athletes, for transgender athletes. And it goes back to the point that you made earlier, and the caller made, that not only does testosterone comes into play, but your body mass structure is completely different across the board, you know, and it just creates an unfair advantage. And yeah, the only way that you know, you have to be born a woman to compete against a woman, in my view.
Yeah. All right. So, would you watch that though? Would anybody watch that? Would you think there would be widespread interest
transgender? But who would have thought that
a transgender league?
But guess what? We watch Special Olympians. They have their own platform, so why can't they have their own platform? But I'm going to tell you this, Dwight. I do love to see exhibition matches when men play women. You know, for instance, Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs, Martina Navratilova when she played Jimmy Connors. That was 92. The first one was 1973. I do enjoy those, seeing those. But that's an exhibition.
And it's very, very different.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think there needs to be more co-ed sports? Is that would that solve some of the issues that we're seeing?
Now, when I think of co-ed, I think of the younger kids when they're just trying everything to see what they like. I don't mind that happening. Co-ed for me works fine when you're young, when you're not gonna excel at one thing, when you're trying to determine, do I like basketball, do I like softball, do I like soccer, do I like whatever. That is when co-ed, I think, can coexist until you decide I'm going on this path.
Yeah, but even in co-ed sports, there will be certain rules and certain stipulations. Like, for instance, if you have a soccer team and you see that's co-ed, right, to make it fair across the board, it's be okay. You're allowed to have 4 female athletes, the rest are male, right? Only 2 could be on
same numbers.
2 could be on the field at a certain time, and the transgender athlete would have to be considered as a male, not a female.
Not a female.
Right? So there would still be certain stipulations in the co-ed sport.
I mean, just coming together, because even at that age when they're just learning do I like something, I'm just trying out something, the younger male child is going to still be physically stronger than the female child. Now, I will say, Dwight, there are some 12-year-old kids that will take you, because you ain't got it.
Well, I would say most men.
Are you talking to me?
Most males, they start to come into their body structure.
You meant a general you, right? That's what you meant.
Yeah,
right.
like a female 12-year-old athlete who's been training will take you, because she
could take someone. You mean?
Yes.
Not.
Yeah.
Right.
The thing about it, most male athletes, they really come into their physical structure at about 12 and above. Right? You would notice that even in track and field, a lot of the younger athletes, 12 and under, you know, they're almost pretty much balanced across the board. It doesn't matter if you're female or male. Right? But as soon as you hit that 12 year, you notice that the men start getting taller, you know, they start getting stronger, and their time start getting faster.
That fast switch comes into play.
Caller, give us a second. Laverne, are you back in? I know she was having some mic issues. Are you back with us? Not yet? No, let's take the call and then we'll get back to Laverne. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning.
Hi, good
calling back again, and good morning to your guests.
Good morning.
You know, we are saying that this is for me too, I agree. This is one of those Trump thingies that he does, the Trump way, that I really like, and I too would encourage him to stick with it. But I don't think the Olympic personnel take into consideration the body mass. Because if they had, they would never allowed such to happen. And I don't think those transgender persons would want to have a league of their own. I think they, like they always say, they want to fit in. They want to be a part of actually what's already there. But I think they now need to sit back and realize that no matter how hard you try, a man will always be a man. You know, so you can't do everything a woman do or as a woman do it. You know, in my view, I like it because I feel like they was going a bit far with what they were doing, but I think they wouldn't want a league of their own because they want to be able to participate against what is seeming to be the same as they are.
Yeah. I don't think there's a market for it. I don't think people would watch that at all. Thank you very much. Laverne, we're back. Yes.
Hi, hello.
There you go. We
hear
can
me?
hear you. Yes, we can hear you now. Mm-hmm.
So many points, but my microphone just didn't want me to be great, so I had to sit and listen.
All right. See if you can get some of them out.
Really? You think I can? The moment's passed.
Oh, okay. All right.
But what I did want to say, though, is like Siobhan, it's interesting to watch the exhibition games, but I will go a bit further. I'm one of those, I love sports, but I'm one of those who I don't even want to see a female on a men's team. Like, no.
Mm-hmm. What's the reason?
I'm not, I don't, to me, it's not the same. It's not the same. And you get a thing of, well, okay, like Sheldon said, if you're going to be on this men's team, they're going to treat you
like a man,
like one of the guys. But not everybody you face, not every team you face has that same outlook. And so a play that they would make, they may adjust because there is a female.
A texter saying that same thing, that they might go soft because you're a girl.
So let's level the play. For me, it's about leveling the playing field. I'll make this last point to wrap up. I was watching a sports show. I think it was Kendrick Perkins. There was a female sportscaster who was talking, and like Kendrick was going in hard on her. And then one of the other male sportscasters like, hey, well, we'll take it easy. And he made a point. He said, no, we're all here doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So he's talking to her just like he would have talked to one of the guys.
Mm-hmm. Fully agree.
And then one of the guys jumps in and is like, like, take it easy because, she's a female. Like, no.
That's a profession she got
Yeah, and the thing about it is he's trying to discredit her information and her knowledge, and she shouldn't have done that. That's what it boils down for me too. That he's trying to discredit.
Which one? The one who told?
Yeah,
Kendrick
to take it easy.
To take it easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this just presents many, many issues once we start blurring these lines.
It's a lot of issues, and one issue that we didn't look at is the injury factor. It's more easier for a female to get injured in a physically competitive match as opposed to a male, right? And me for one, if you're a female on a football team, and I'm trying to tackle that one, right? And I ain't taking it easy. Right?
I might need to see a therapist about this.
Let's clarify which American football you're talking about.
American
here,
football,
right?
yeah. American football.
But, okay, how many females are going to want to go outside the role of kicker on an American football team? Seriously.
You might have some. You did it for soccer.
I could just tell you whoever the son may be, they don't want to compete against Sheldon because Sheldon has made it clear from the onset.
He's coming for you.
I coming for you.
I just seen you as a person I'm competing against.
And I think most men will take that mindset as well.
Well,
I'm not pulling punches. I'm just full out.
So Laverne, you have an issue with the female kickers in an American football game? You also have an issue with that?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting.
Now, where there's a game that has some skill in it where you can get around, I don't have a problem with that. And that's what I'm saying. Like for soccer, if you can get around a man, you can get around a man on the field.
Now, you mentioned it with younger athletes. There's some weird stuff going on in the U.S. where they have female wrestlers, girl wrestlers versus boy wrestlers, and it's incredibly awkward.
I don't like it.
It's terrible. And the boys are nervous. They don't want to. I can't grab you here, and the girls are taking advantage of grabbing the boys in certain places, and it's just creating
Greco-Roman wrestling on the whole for me. I don't like.
Well, that's okay. But men versus women, boys versus girls in Greco-Roman wrestling or freestyle wrestling, very strange.
And that's a part of the problem.
Very weird.
There's too many rules and stipulations.
And so now let's look at that. Let's look at that in terms of what we're talking about.
Right.
With transgender, and it goes back to all of the things that we've said before. So now here, can you imagine you have this man who now identifies as a female at whatever height they are at, and now they are across the mat against a natural born female.
Now, see, and the thing about it is, men have ways to protect themselves in that situation. They wear cups. Women have body parts that are just as sensitive, but they don't wear cups for. So that's a wonky area for me.
Mm-hmm.
You don't wear cups for your your breasts. You don't.
Wear cups.
For your breasts?
I'm talking about down below.
Your breasts, Sheldon. Your breasts.
But that's a serious question, right? I mean, you don't want.
You're more likely to.
Yeah.
Your breasts are more likely to get injured first. I mean, you can wear
It goes back to the original point. Don't compete.
It's
Don't
awkward.
compete,
It's
yeah.
very awkward.
Okay, what I want to, but let's say this is a transgender athlete who is now identifying as a woman and who has had the surgery. So there is no need, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Does that make a difference to you two?
Does that really make a
It doesn't make a difference to me in terms of body structure.
Body structure.
so-
That's what it all boils down to
we're
me.
still going
Muscle
back to
mass.
body
Yeah,
structure.
muscle mass, body structure.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. We'll have before we make our guests make their final points, you can get your final calls in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Sheldon, I've got to ask you, do we have any transgender athletes in the Bahamas currently? Do you know of any?
Thank God, no. No, I also represent the Beach Players as well. I'm the Vice President of Public Affairs, Public Relations and Marketing on the Beach Play Board. And we don't have that issue in the Bahamas. Thankfully, we have a president worldwide, Lord Sebastian Coe, who doesn't agree with it as well. And we don't allow female athletes who are born female athletes to identify later. Athletes who are born male, who are transgender athletes who later identify as women to compete in women's sports. That doesn't happen and in World Athletics competitions across the board.
Right.
It's done at the IOC level, but World Athletics is one of the few bodies worldwide that don't allow it to happen.
You know that's been an issue with swimming.
It's been an issue with swimming. It's been an issue in the NCAA. It's been an issue with Canadian sports in the UK. A couple other countries do it as well. I think New Zealand does it as well. And it's catching on more and more, unfortunately. And hopefully they find a way to rectify it.
Wow. Let's take these calls. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight. Morning, you guys.
Good morning.
I want you all to picture this. And football teams. One side got women on it. The other side got women. The quarterback pitched the ball to the woman, man, and she take off and she running towards the goal post. She out fronted by herself. And then all of a sudden, menstrual cramp kick in.
Why you go there, man?
I just want you
Do
to
you wonder about that during a basketball game
Spoken
in
by
the
a male,
WNBA?
and that's spoken by a male who does not understand really how menstrual cramps happen. That is not.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
No, I
so
don't.
that was very.
That was GNN. Normally I agree with you, but that was like a really ignorant.
Yes. Thank you,
Well,
Laverne.
yeah, I know I stand to be like that, but I wanted to know if y'all could opine on it to see, in case it happens, she might just slow down and fall to the ground. I don't know.
You've never seen that in a WNBA game, so come on.
No, I've never seen it.
No. Let the ladies explain.
It's like you push through, you work through. It's like, no, that wasn't a good example.
No.
And then, of course,
Laverne, sorry.
Keep in mind, though, that the foundation of this conversation is really talking about transgender.
Right.
So
and
that
not
wouldn't
so
happen.
much that we have a female who's born female competing in men's sports. We're talking about transgender athletes competing in the sports that they now identify as.
And just to clarify for him, Laverne, when women athletes compete, they generally don't have cramps. Sports does that. That's one of the benefits of sports. They don't have these really bad cramps. Just so to clarify for him.
Thank you, Siobhan. Thank you so much.
Appreciate
Good to know. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? No, okay. I think this person's being sarcastic, but they're asking, whatever happened to equality and men and women being equal? However, these women want to be men anyhow, so they might as well compete against men. Oh, dear Lord.
Just another day in the neighborhood.
Yeah. So your final words, folks, on this. I think it's clear where you stand on it, and
Yeah.
there aren't going to be too many. I see that there are people threatening lawsuits in the U.S. about it, but I do think the majority of people around the world are opposed to this for various reasons, not just one reason, many, many, many different reasons.
Yeah, I feel women's sports should be for women's sports. If you were born a male, then you compete as a male, especially if it's at the competitive level. If you're doing something for fun, that's totally fine by me. But at the competitive level, can't happen. We cannot have one gender dominating a gender that they say they see themselves as. That's the problem. You see yourself as that. Nobody else sees you as that.
Yes, I fully agree. I agree with the order 100%. I don't have an issue with women competing in men's sport against men.
People say you're a hypocrite if you say that.
Well, that's fine. They can say what they want.
Mhm.
But I have a huge issue with men competing in female sports against women simply because of testosterone level and the body structure. And the body structure, it's important that you mention that because the IOC is trying to put in a stipulation where it's just testosterone. It's not just testosterone.
And then my final point, according to the sport, there's no reasoning that a woman cannot beat a male according to what the sport is.
Yes, yes. So, I just hope it's rectified and we could come to an agreement worldwide that all transgender athletes will be barred from competing in women's sports.
Well, Sheldon only wants the women in men's sports so that he can tackle them.
Yes.
That's what he said.
That's a huge part of
He couldn't catch me.
All right.
You think so?
Thank you for a great discussion this morning. Siobhan Moss, Sheldon Longley, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. All right, Laverne and I are going to be back with the final few minutes of Morning Blend Business in just a bit. Stay with us here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
You work hard for your money, so let your money work hard for you. With as little as $1,000 to start, you can watch your money grow by investing in CFAL's Bahamian dollar and US dollar mutual funds, each tailored to match your unique investment profile. Our expert advisors are dedicated to crafting personalized investment strategies to help you achieve your financial goals. Don't miss out on the chance to earn higher returns on your hard-earned money. Join the thousands of investors who trust CFAL and start your journey toward financial freedom today. Visit us at cfal.com to learn more about our saving and investment options. And let us help you build wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
It's the lottery of love at Everybody Wins.
I love you.
Everybody Wins is giving away over $100,000 in cash prizes in the Lottery of Love.
I love you.
All February long, every $20 spent, you'll receive a raffle ticket. The more you spend, the more chances to win. And you could be among the 30 winners randomly selected on February 28th to win $10, $20, or even $30,000.
I love you.
It's the Lottery of Love at Everybody Wins. Remember to game responsibly and get ready to win.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. The amount of taxes visitors pay to fly into the Bahamas has meant that the country has not turned its proximity to the U.S. into affordability for visitors. That's according to Executive Director of the Bahamas Out Islands Promotion Board, Carrie Fountain. Speaking to members of the media yesterday, Fountain, attending the Roots Americas conference at Atlantis Paradise Island, said the country has to look at how to reduce the cost of travel to entice more visitors. Saying, quote, every time we start off with a business plan, a tourism business plan or tourism marketing plan, we're doing the SWOT analysis, and we talk about the strengths of the Bahamas. We always start off with proximity. But he says, even with Bimini only 52 miles away from the Bahamas, what they failed to do is convert proximity to the U.S. to affordability. And that's mainly due to taxes. Fountain says airline ticket prices have taxes stacked on top of taxes and have become burdensome. During a panel discussion with airline professionals on aviation competitiveness in the Caribbean, it was suggested that countries in this region lower or eliminate certain taxes associated with airline travel in favor of taxes paid at the border at the time of arrival. Read more on that in today's Guardian Business section. The Ministry of Tourism and Aviation embarking on a project to bring Google Street View to 16 islands in the country, with parts of New Providence already completed. It's expected to garner the country some 200 million views over the next 5 years. Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Tourism Chester Cooper, at the official launch of the project, said Google Street View will go a long way in enhancing promotion for the country and increasing visibility for local businesses. For the first time in the history of travel media company Carib Journal's Caribbean Travel Awards, a Bahamas Minister of Tourism has been selected as Caribbean Tourism Minister of the Year. To round out the hat trick for the country, the Bahamas also received the award for Destination of the Year, with the newly renovated British Colonial receiving the award for Caribbean Hotel of the Year. Editor-in-Chief of Caribbean Journal, Alexander Bertel, personally handing Cooper the award yesterday, saying the minister's overseeing of two of the country's best years in tourism made him a shoo-in for the award. Congratulations to Chester Cooper. Overseas, U.S. inflation accelerated last month as the cost of groceries, gas, and used cars rose, a disappointment for families and businesses struggling with higher costs and likely underscoring the Federal Reserve's resolve to delay any further interest rate cuts. The Consumer Price Index increased 3% in January from a year ago, according to a report from the Labor Department Wednesday. This is up from 2.9% the previous month. It's increased from a 3.5-year low of 2.4% in September. The figures show that inflation has remained stubbornly above the Fed's 2% target for roughly the past 6 months, after it fell steadily for about a year and a half. Elevated prices created a major political problem for former U.S. President Donald Trump. Meanwhile, former U.S. President Joe Biden, current President Donald Trump pledged to reduce prices in last year's campaign, though most economists worry that his proposed tariffs could at least temporarily increase costs. The unexpected boost in inflation could dampen some of the business enthusiasm that arose after Trump's election on promises to reduce regulation and cut taxes. And Tesla has embraced an aggressive legal strategy in China to stifle its critics. It's suing its own customers. That's left some Tesla owners desperate. One customer, Zhang Yazhu, protested publicly that her Model 3's brakes had failed and caused an accident in 2021 that sent her parents to the hospital. Tesla said that it wasn't true and sued her for defamation. A Chinese court ordered Zhang to pay Tesla, a $1.1 trillion company. They ordered her to pay $23,000 in damages and publicly apologize for her criticism. Zhang, who appealed the verdict, saying she refused to accept it, and, quote, as a customer, even if I said something wrong, I have the right to comment and criticize. I spoke about my feelings as a user of the car. It has nothing to do with damaging their reputation. Well, as concerns mount about eroding checks and balances in the U.S., Tesla's record in China shows how it has thrived in a system where regulators, the courts, and the media all answer to the ruling Communist Party. It's not common for automakers in China or elsewhere to sue their own customers, but Tesla has done so successfully in the country, where Elon Musk's company has used the courts and the patronage of a powerful leader to silence critics, reap financial rewards, and limit accountability. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX. From Tuesday, your market movers: Fidelity Bank moving 100 shares, closing at $17.09 unchanged. Consolidated Water up 8 cents, closing at $5.34. Emira Incorporated down 1 cent, closing at $9.51. The BISX All Share Index closing at 3,096.39, up 0.07. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And Laverne, our final couple of minutes here, is still getting some messages about our topic, transgender athletes in sports. So a lot of people saying they don't want it in any event. Men playing in women's sports, women playing in men's sports, none of it. There should be no hypocrisy there. And I definitely understand where they're coming from. Laverne, this is a text for you saying that Laverne's making sense. Women should not be on men's teams. Your other guests were being hypocritical. Wow, yeah, quite a few people saying that. This one here, if men are playing in women's sports, it has the same effect as women being in men's sports. The danger is still there. So
Sure.
Yeah. Wow.
I really believe that there should be clear lines. Now, if there's a mixed, so sometimes maybe you'll have a mixed team, both sides.
Yes.
Mixed team, okay. But other than that, no. It's a no for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm never sitting watching an NBA game saying, oh, there should be women. If I want to see women play basketball, then I'll watch a WNBA game.
Mm-hmm. Understandable. All right. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. Again, with the Olympics coming up in a few years and how other international sports bodies deal with this. Let me ask you, would you watch a transgender league of sports for anything?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I would. I wouldn't be interested.
Yeah, that would be a very tough sell, I suspect.
I wouldn't be interested then, and do we have, how would it work?
I have no idea.
Right.
But that would be challenging, without a doubt. Yeah.
Do we even have sufficient, transgender, and is there enough worldwide that the teams could be formed?
Probably.
I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably. But hey, we will see. It's going to be an interesting few years. Laverne, thank you for being here on a Wednesday.
Always a pleasure.
Chester will be here tomorrow. Have a great one. I'll be back tomorrow morning as well with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great one. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.